Now, I want to pose a thought to you.
Oh God.
So, I know Madonna was hugely influential for you,
Oh yeah.
myself as well. Obviously, Bob the Drag Queen is on
Yes.
this world tour with Madonna.
Yes.
We're going to live in reality. You have the
Yes.
career you do. You are the
Yeah.
Bianca Del Rio has the ability to go out on her own world tour.
Yeah.
Had Madonna reached out to you, suppose there was a relationship. So suppose it was you who she had called to do that Pride show
Yes.
several
Yes.
years ago, and you had built that relationship with Madonna, and
Yeah.
you had gotten the call like Bob did, the offer, open for me, be part of my show. Is that an appealing gig to you?
Well, I'm going to be very blunt, Jess, and say this is that I am all about business. And I can say that because I wasn't asked. Bob was, and kudos to Bob going and doing it. I mean, it's like an amazing opportunity. But I would look at the business aspect of it for me. I mean, I had already had stuff in the works, so it's very hard for me to say, and I'm not saying, oh, I would turn down Madonna. I just mean that I would go, what are you paying? What is this involved? How much of my life is this going to be? How am I showcased in the show? I would ask those particular questions, and it's no disregard or some hate towards her. I mean, she's all business as it is. But on a personal side, as a young gay boy, I would probably say, yes, I want to go. I just want to be in her orbit. I want to find out how she works. I want to know what makes her tick. So that side of it would be interesting, but I would have to look at the business side of it and say, hey, if it works out in your schedule, I'm a firm believer in timing, and if something works, it's great. And one of the biggest obstacles I had in my life was Drag Race, which I did at 38 years old, 37, 38 years old. Didn't think that it would open so many doors, but the hustle is what's kind of kept me in that doorway. So for me, it would have to say, how would I be showcased? And, Bob and I are different talents. I mean, obviously we're both comedians and stuff, but he's more musically oriented than I am. And I think it's an amazing
Yeah,
opportunity
she's
for
got
Bob.
him in the leather chaps doing the choreography to Don't Tell Me.
Yeah, that's brilliant. It's brilliant. And I love every minute of it. And we've chatted, since Bob's been on the road. But I purposely don't ask those questions about her because I know everybody is asking all of those questions. I get the best advice I could give him. I said, write everything down. Write everything down. You think you're going to remember it, but you won't. I said, just write it down so you can either relive it later in life or sell it and make a book. But no, I think it's amazing. And as I said, I don't want to sound like a cunt, but I would have to look at it professionally and say, hey, would this work out? How would I be showcased and how much you paying? And what, how would I resonate with the audience? Because if you're there doing that, they're not coming to see me. They're coming to see her. So how are you mixed into the show? And if it made sense, but my little gayness inside would be like, yes, Queen, Madonna, woo! Yeah. Sing my songs, girl.
Are you familiar with this show? It's sort of a phenomenon right now. It's airing on Peacock called The Traitors.
Oh, yes. Well, I've heard everybody's talking about it. I have not watched it yet. No, and I love Alan Cumming. He's a friend of mine, and he's wonderful, so sweet. But someone just recently sent me a message that says, you need to watch. And then the second text was, you need to be on it.
But they basically take a bunch of different people from different competition shows, but also Housewives. And, Peppermint was on from Drag Race. And yes, it's hosted by Alan Cumming, and it's all very campy and fabulous. You actually could possibly win The Traitors, and I think I did an episode with a friend. We were sort of fan casting The Traitors,
Oh God.
And I said,
Okay.
Anybody from Drag Race, they have to ask Bianca Del Rio.
Let's do it. Sign me up. I'm going to call Al. I'll text Alan today.
Text him today, and I don't know how what.
Let's see what he says. Yeah.
Because you're the smartest in the
Well,
in the
I'd
crew.
be willing to go into. Let me tell you, I loved. That was probably. Yeah, experiencing Drag Race when I did was a great experience, and I didn't expect it. Obviously, you don't know what's going to happen with your career with this platform, an amazing platform. And in my act, I make jokes about it and talk shit about the whole process. But honestly, the exposure and the platform that you're given is surreal, and it totally shifted my life. But what I thoroughly enjoyed the most at the time was being amongst the queens, being in the room, and some people find it very stressful. I didn't find it stressful. I thought it was so much fun, and some great memories, some great friendships were created from that. So I live to be catty and nasty in a room full of queens. Sign me up. Where there's quiet and silence, I will create mischief. I guarantee it.